And if you don't do that, the plugin's actually not doing anything until you activate it. So go ahead and click on the admin page and it will take you to the controls for the all-in-one SEO pack. And the first thing you'll want to do when you get to this page is change the plugin status from disabled to enabled, and that'll make sure that the plugin's actually running and it's off. And if you want, you can actually go ahead and, before we do anything else, just hit update, and that'll make sure that your plugin is now enabled. So now let's take a look at what the plugin actually does. So the first thing you'll see here is home title, home description, and home keywords. And this is where you can control the title, the description, and the keywords just for your home page. So the title is actually what shows up all the way up here at the very top in the browser. And the title is also what shows up in search engine results, most of them. So whenever you see a link, like in Google, it's usually using the title and not the actual, like article of the page, yada, yada, yada. So make sure to make the title very descriptive based on what your website is. You might want to put like keywords here, or the slogan, or my, website.com, whatever you want. I highly recommend that you use keywords that you're trying to rank your overall site for, but don't try and stuff it too much, because you can only use so much for the title before it'll cut you off anyway. And then the description down here is actually what tells the search engines what your page is about. They don't all use it, but a lot of them do use the description to find the summary type text that you see underneath links. So if you ever Google something, you'll notice that there's a link, and then below it there's always two lines that have like a little summary or whatever. And this is actually what'll show up if somebody Googles your company name or your website name and you show up. This is what'll show up underneath that link. So make the description, very useful. Try and keep it at like 160 characters or less, because that's what most search engines use. And the next one is keywords. So you'll want to make sure to put in some keywords based on what you want your main site to rank for. For example, 3, 2, blue. And you can type as many as you want, but the less you use, the more specific they are, the better results you're going to get. And all you need to do is separate them by comments, and it'll automatically put them in there for your keywords. And the other two options here are mechanical URLs and rewrite titles. If you click on them, it'll actually give you a little description about what it does. And I highly recommend leaving them both on, especially the rewrite titles, because that allows you to control the titles for your pages and your posts. And now let's get down to the formatting. So what these do is all of these formats control the titles up here based on what page one of your readers is visiting. So if they are to go and visit like a random blog post on your page, it's going to show up here at the very top the title of your blog, and then it's going to have the little bracket, the breaker here, and then it's going to have the title of your blog. So post title, blog title. It depends how you want to do it, but I usually prefer to get rid of this part, since it's kind of redundant and people already know what website they're on. So if you just put the post title, that way you can rank a little bit better for your individual post, because you don't have to have the title of the web page itself in there. And I usually do that for pages too, but usually you don't have to, depending on what you're trying to rank for. And then categories. So categories is if somebody clicks on a category on your blog, it's going to make the category title the title of your page, and then it's going to show the blog title. And I usually just get rid of blog title for basically all of them. And that just makes your title shorter and more descriptive. Okay, so once you have all the formatting figured out, the next part is these options here. You have use categories for meta keywords, which will automatically use the categories for a post as keywords. I don't use this feature because I prefer to specify the keywords, which I'll show you in a minute. But if you want to do that, it makes it a little bit easier. It'll automatically do it for you. And the dynamically generate keywords will also let you kind of generate keywords based on the page you're using. And I usually leave this one on because it allows you to specify the keywords when you're writing a post. And use no index for categories. I usually uncheck it. That basically says, okay, Google should index your category pages. Some people don't do that. I kind of like having my category pages rank because people might find a specific category when they're searching for something. And I usually leave the archives on. I don't really care if they index my archives page. Same with tags. And then auto-generate descriptions. This will generate meta descriptions if there's no excerpt that you specify, like for the description. So it'll automatically use the first so many characters of a blog post or a page as the description. And I usually leave that on as well because sometimes I don't specify, a certain description for a thing. And then the rest of the features are something that you only need to use if you're trying to, customize a little bit more, if you want to exclude certain pages from working, stuff like that. And I usually don't mess around with that stuff. So once you have all your settings, you just hit update options and it'll automatically save everything we just did. And the only other thing that I wanted to show you is this plugin also adds a new field underneath. Let's go down here. So underneath your post, when you're normally writing a post or a page, it works on both of them. You'll see that the All-in-One SEO Pack actually adds a new box down here. And this is actually really cool because this is the main reason why a lot of people use this plugin. So what this box does is it allows you to specify the title, the description, and the keywords for any given post or page that you're writing. And this makes it really nice because that way you can, really drill down into certain keywords for each of your articles instead of relying on your homepage keywords for everything. And I usually make the title a little bit different than the actual headline of the post, just to try and catch two different versions of the same thing, and I just reword it as a little bit. Don't make it super different, that it's not even relevant, but just kind of reword something. If you write something like the 5 best jobs, you might make the title the 5 best careers, just mix it up a little bit. And then I usually just put a nice little description for my article so people know when they're searching for it, they know exactly what my article is going to be about. And then I just list some keywords for that given article or the page that I'm working on. And I try and keep it kind of short and specific so I see better results. So you can use this on every single post or page that you write, and I highly recommend it. It can really help with your search engine rankings. So that's everything that the All-in-One SEO Pack does. I highly recommend you run it on all your blogs. I use it on all of mine, and I really like it. And I haven't found anything out there that's better, and as far as my opinion goes. So I highly recommend checking out the All-in-One SEO Pack.